The term that we use in the investing world regularly is A.R.V. If you don't know what that is, it stands for after repair value. So if you dissect those words and you think about what they mean, it's after the repairs are done, then what the current value will be. So obviously if you have a bunch of houses in a neighborhood and some of them are really run down and some of them are not, the ones that are not run down are going to be worth more and sell for a higher price. So that's what we're doing with our subject properties. When we're doing fix and flips, we find a house that's undervalued, either because it's distressed or its seller, the owner, is distressed, and that causes a situation where they're willing to sell it for less than it might be worth on the market right now if it were going to retail at full price. So if you have a property that is distressed, let's just take a typical fix and flip. The property itself needs some work. You find some contractors to come in, give you bids, they fix it up, and then you put it on the market to sell. That's where you get your after repair value. Now, how do you determine that value? It is going to be based on this. Let me show you on the screen. This is what realtors do for you. If you get realtors on your team, they can go in and look for sold properties in whatever county you need. So I'm just going to go into my county, Salt Lake County, and you want to keep it in a very small area. We're looking in a specific neighborhood. So let's go ahead and take Draper, Utah. And let's say that your house has 3 bedrooms. So you want to try to match that, and you do 3 bedrooms, a minimum of 2 baths. And then square footage is important when you're figuring out an A.R.V. because you can't compare apples to oranges. So apples to apples looks like this. If my house is 2,500 square feet, let's say, my subject property is 2,500, I would go from about 2,200 to 2,800. And then what else is important when you're determining an A.R.V.? The age is going to be important as well. So these, by the way, this software, it's a little bit different on every MLS system that's out there. So some of your realtors are going to be using the same type of software, but it won't look exactly like this. So we're going to go with, okay, property type, we want to keep that the same. Let's go with single family. The style is also important to keep the same. We will go with Rambler Ranches. And we're down to 19. We want to get 3 to 4 of the very best ones that are most similar. So let's say, what else do we have here? No HOA. That knocked out 8 of them. You can see right up here it went from 19 down to 11. Now where's the darn age? I do this all the time, but I usually scroll down and pop, 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 and I kind of got out of order. So let's do this. Year built. Let's say it's a little bit older home, right around 2000. You don't want to compare with brand new 2017s if you can help it. So just start initially by going, or if you're having a realtor do this, going 5 years older and 5 years newer. Let's see what that does for us. Now we're down to 10. This is a pretty good place where you could look at all the results. So you view the results. You're sitting side by side with your agent. This is a little bit easier, but a lot of times they do it at home and email it to you. So however you get it is fine. But we'll go into client full report. Now here's a little trick that I've learned. On all of these houses, they all have what we call an elevation. It's how they look from the front. So what you want to do is scroll through these and say, you know, it doesn't really look like that. Let's skip that one. Oh, hard to see this one. It looks like it's all trees. Maybe or maybe it doesn't look like it. Oh, it looks like this house. So I'm going to choose this one, keep that as one of the comps. And here you can tell a lot of the important information. 288,000 is where it was originally listed. And now they have the list price down to 275. That tells me somewhere in that range is what it should sell for. But maybe 288 is a little bit overpriced. And then this one, not so much, not as similar. This one's pretty close, but not right on the mark. This one as well looks similar to this. And again, we look at this. Original list price was right below 320,000. Now they're down to 300. Tells me again it's moving that direction. So maybe that one's a little bit overpriced too. This one looks exactly like it. So let's go with sold price 318,000. They didn't have a different original list price, so they started at 319. It only took them 4 days on the market to sell. This days on market number right here, it's very important when you're determining A.R.V. because if it's overpriced like some of those others. In fact, let's just pop back there and look at them. Oop, I missed one of them. Let's go back up. Okay, this one right here sat on the market 68 days, so just over 2 months. That's not terrible. That's pretty fast in a lot of markets, but it didn't move immediately at the 320, and maybe that seller was a little bit negotiable and dropped the price, or a little bit anxious to sell. So they dropped the price fairly quickly, especially if it took 30 days for the buyer's loan to close. They were really on the market about 38 days before they decided to reduce the price. So that gives you an idea of how to determine the value. All of these are relatively the same age, same style, same size for sure, same bedrooms and bathrooms, and now we have a price range. This is how your realtor will help you determine what your A.R.V. is once the property is fixed up and it's ready to sell. Good luck.